welcome back to Novel Idea. My name is Dia, and I would like to do a tag that I did last year around about this time, and it is the Booktubers Shoutout by the Numbers tag that Sandy at Ms. Reads a Lot created. I feel a little bit like a mama hen, like I want to gather together around me some beautiful people, and I want to introduce you to some that maybe you don't know. And so I'm not going to repeat the ones that I did last year. I will leave that video linked down below, but this one is going to be all new people that I haven't mentioned before in the Booktube by the Numbers shout out tag. So thank you again to Sandy, who created this, for what you do to encourage this community to truly be community. So without further ado, let's jump in. So it is just like what it says. It is a by the numbers, so we go by subscriber count. And so the first one is the 0 to 100 category. It's Relish Books, and I don't know her first name. I don't know that she's ever told us. She just says, "Welcome to Relish Books." So she is going through different classics that she either has read recently or that she just really loves. There are a few that are more like maybe modern classics, and she does a wonderful job. I really enjoy listening to her speak. She currently, when I'm recording this, has 26 subscribers. Go over and give her a like. For the 1 to 200 category, I have Books with Heather, and this is Heather, and she has 100 subscribers currently. She is a homeschool mama. She loves to read fantasy. She loves to read middle grade and such, because I think that's probably the ages of her kiddos. Just really sweet, really sweet. And then also I have And They Were Readers, and this is a couple, and it's Sierra and John, and they currently have just over 100 readers, or 100 subscribers, sorry. And they really like literary fiction. Not a whole lot that we read in common, but they are so much fun to watch. So I hope that they end up with a lot more subscribers very soon. And then for the 2 to 300 category, I have Angela's Bookcase, and Angela is an Australian booktuber. She's fairly new. She currently has 300 or just over 300 subscribers, and she's very eclectic in what she reads, and I just have really enjoyed watching her and listening to her talk about the books that she is reading and that she loves. The other day she baked scones for us while she was doing her video. It's just been a delight. Go give her a like and subscribe. For the 3 to 400 category, I have Anne over at In Search of Wonder. Anne is also fairly new. She is a music teacher. She is a classic reader. She loves classics. She likes to read Christian fiction and nonfiction, and I just love her. So I hope that you guys will go over and give her a like and subscribe. I should say. Anne also is a huge coffee lover and incorporates coffee into quite a few things. She actually has created kind of a segment on her channel where she compares certain kinds of books to certain kinds of coffee. It's really fun. And then I also have Water Bear Reads, And this is also Heather. And I love this channel because she talks about a lot of vintage books. It's not strictly vintage, but it's feels very wholesome, and she brings up a lot of books that I wouldn't think about reading. She just did a children's segment for vintage books from her library that she took out that she wanted to tell us about. It's just been really sweet. I think she's currently in Maine. I'm not positive about that, but I think that's right. I got headbutted by this little monster back here earlier, and my nose is still a little sore. I don't know if it's gonna turn black and blue, and it doesn't feel broken, but all right. Also in the 300 to 400 category, I'm gonna do a couple of extras because I don't have any for the 400 to 500, and I don't have any for the 500 to 600. So Becca over at Read Becca, and Becca is a indie press, science fiction, contemporary fiction, also fantasy, also a little romance. She really likes nonfiction, also nature and science and that kind of stuff. Yeah, and she's currently at 398. Did I say how much the others were? Anne is at 336, and Water Bear Reads Heather is at 339. And then I lastly have the Midnight Reader, which is Rosica, and she currently has 379 subscribers, and she is also varied. We met because she was reading her first Jane Austen, I think. We read Persuasion together. We buddy read it. And we have been friends ever since. It's just been so much fun to watch her kind of move through this booktube sphere. She just recently became a mom. She is a nurse. She loves plants. We've found that we have some very similar things in common, and then she reads some things that I would never even try to pick up. So she loves fantasy and classics, and like I said, nonfiction, some literary. I hope that you will give all of them a like and a subscribe. We're gonna skip 400 to 500, and we're gonna skip 500 to 600, and we're gonna go right to 600 to 700. So I have page turners with Katja. This is Katja Weinert, and she is wonderful. I love the way that Katja talks about the books she has read. She is very line upon line, precept upon precept, kind of as she reviews, but she talks about the emotional quality. Is it well done as far as communicating what she thinks the author is trying to communicate? She reads a lot of translated fiction, especially Asian. She reads a lot of classics. She reads fantasy and science fiction. So Katja is wonderful. Amy at Hearthridge is another one, and Amy currently has 611 subscribers. She just reminds me of someone cozy. Just one that reads very wholesome. She likes classics. I think her favorite author is Ellen Montgomery, and tries to find things that convey that same kind of feeling that we get with Ellen Montgomery's books. So that's Amy. Then we have Ashley at An Untrained Librarian, and she has 676 subscribers, and she reads a lot of literary, a lot of contemporary, and a lot of nonfiction, and she is much more the sciencey side of nonfiction. She loves things about nature and gardening and mushrooms and animals. And then she will read some other things that I have never heard of. And I love that. I love when I get introduced to things that I never would have picked up or even thought about otherwise. And then we have Art at A Bookshelf Odyssey, and Art has 650 subscribers. And Art I got connected to because he is a huge Ray Bradbury fan. And he's also a huge Dickens fan. And so both of those things are things that I love as well. And so that's how I started listening to Art. He also has a podcast, and he has a very smooth quality to his speaking voice. It's very easy to listen to. So I hope that you guys will go give all of these ones a like and a subscribe. All right, for our 700 to 800 category, I have the Eclectic Library. This is Celine, and she has 792 subscribers, and she is very much a classics and nonfiction with a little bit of fantasy in there. Probably more fantasy than I realized, but I've mainly seen her speak about the classics that she is reading and the nonfiction that she is reading. And again, somebody that I just really enjoy the way that she talks about the books that she has read. Don't always agree with her, but that's the great thing about being on BookTube. Is this community is just that. It's a community, and we have all different kinds of people that read all different kinds of things. Celine is just wonderful in the way that she gives you kind of the upshot, the gist of what she has been reading. She doesn't pull punches. She's very honest. You can tell that she really loves to read. And then also in this category, I have Chrissy at Chrissy's Purple Library. And Chrissy, I got to know this past November when we did a read-along of a Christian nonfiction together with Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia, and I fell in love with her. I knew her a little bit from viewing other videos and stuff, but getting to know her through the read-along is really how my heart got connected to Chrissy. So she has 739 subscribers, also is a big Christian fiction, and she reads some fantasy and some nonfiction as well. And I will say this, Chrissy is one of the best editors for her videos. They are just a blast to watch. You can't just listen to Chrissy's videos. You have to watch them because they're just so fun. All right, in the 800 to 900 category, I have Celeste at A Reader's Almanac. She loves to talk about vintage books, possibly ones that we've never heard of. She's also really great at highlighting a wide age range of books, classics especially. And then she also does crafts, and sometimes we get to see those too. And she's just wonderful. Very soft-spoken, easygoing, just really enjoy her. For the 900 to 1000 category, I have Chelsea over at Voyage of a Time Wanderer, and she has 983 subscribers currently. Chelsea has been doing kind of an ancestry project, not where she's trying to find out her ancestry, but like reading books that are either set in or by authors who are from the countries of her ancestors' origins. And it has been so fun to kind of see that journey. She's very much into history, very much into both nonfiction and fiction, and also loves to read nonfiction, like church history and classics. So you should definitely go give Chelsea a like and subscribe. All right, the next category that Sandy first created was 1,000 plus. And I decided to do more than just one or two in this category, because I feel like the bigger the channel gets, the less people want to like recognize it on their own videos. And I think that when you reach a certain milestone, people also think that you don't have time to answer your commenters or that you are unapproachable. So I'm going to give you quite a few. And I am going to do that because I feel like these people are approachable and they're just simply lovely human beings, readers, and booktubers. So the first one is Christy Lewis over at Dostoevsky in Space. Christy, she was one of the first people to reach out to me when I started my channel. I think that she's kind of narrowed her focus a little bit more. She reads a lot of translated fiction. She reads still pretty widely. She's also learned that she really enjoys nonfiction and almost that she needs to have it. So that is Christy's channel. Victoria at a Musical Bookworm. She is another music teacher. She is a mama to a young, handsome, strapping lad. She is absolutely wonderful. She's so sweet, so kind. Shelly at Shelly Swearingen is another one that I have known since she very first started her channel, and I had not started a channel yet. And she is exuberant about the books that she loves. And it is so much fun to listen to Shelly talk about the books she is reading. She's a teacher, she is an ex-librarian. She loves to study and dig into art and artists. She does other creative projects on her channel besides just books. And I love her. I absolutely love her. Hannah at Hannah's Books is one that I have found in the last year. When Kristen from Enter the Book did this tag last year is when I discovered Hannah, because she shouted out Hannah. Hannah has been in higher education realms for a very long time, and the way that she presents what it is that she is speaking about, whether it is a book or whether it's something in life or whether it is something that she's just been thinking about, it's done in a way that is just captivating, easy to understand. She's clear and she is concise with it, and I love her. Jack at Spread Book Joy and Gemma from Gemma Books are two of the English booktubers, the great British booktubers that I also have found since starting my channel. They have since become buddy readers on the regular, and they are just wonderful, wonderful women. Jack and I are a little bit more close in our taste as far as what we read and what we like. And Gemma is far from us most of the time. Gemma loves books that completely tear you apart. Rip your heart out and stomp on it. She likes those books. I do not. And I don't tend to read them, but once in a while we overlap, and usually where we overlap is with fantasy or something that is meant for a younger audience. Gemma and I overlap, but Jack and I overlap quite a lot. We overlap with what we like as far as children's literature. We overlap with what we like with classics. We overlap with loving our ancients, and yeah, just all of that. Fantasy. She's a huge Terry Pratchett fan. She's also a David Bowie fan. Charlie Brooks and Alice in the Giant Bookshelf are two more English booktubers that I absolutely adore also. And I don't know them as well. I haven't buddy read with them. They're not somebody that I chat with on regular, other than just on videos. But I really enjoy both of them, and just their demeanor, their spirit when they come across. Erin Facer is actually another English booktuber that I have started watching since I started my channel. And Erin is soft-spoken and thoughtful, and he loves poetry, and he loves the ancient classics. Big tomes don't hinder him. He just read through Marcel Proust this past year. Huge accomplishment. I really enjoy Erin. Caitlin at Bandy's Books. Caitlin is completely almost the opposite of what I read. She loves contemporary fiction, and I hardly ever read contemporary. She reads a lot of women's issues, and she's a real foodie. She's a chef, in fact. She is a big supporter of little free libraries. She is really good at making sure that the people who talk to her, she talks to. Sarah Reeds is from Canada. In fact, I think she's in either Newfoundland or Nova Scotia. I found Sarah when she very first started her channel. I've been subscribed to her since the very beginning. I think I found her through Petrick Leo. She is a huge fantasy reader. She likes manga. She likes to read nonfiction about animals and nature. She's very down to earth, and I just really appreciate her. I love her thoughts on what she reads. She's good about giving you a really good overview, and I just appreciate her so much. Marie reads. We also don't read a whole heck of a lot in common, but she is precious. I love watching her. She, in this past year, has fallen in love. She has found a new place to live that just seems to be such a good fit for her. She got to go home and visit her parents, whom she absolutely adores. She has two wonderful dogs, and so I just really love spending time with Katie, even though we don't read a whole heck of a lot in common. Angela at Literature Science Alliance. Angela, I have been subscribed to since the very beginning. I found her through her very first World Hoppers appearance. Angela and I don't always read the same things. She's much more of a romance and that kind of stuff. I don't read that kind of stuff. She's a big horror reader, and she also loves to read literary fiction, and I'm not too much of a literary fiction girl either, once in a while. So when she talks about a fantasy book that she just thinks is wholesome and sweet, and that it was a good time, you know, those kinds of things, she is somebody that I agree with usually 90% of the time. Alana Estelle is another one who loves to do single book reviews and is very thorough. She'll give you quotes from them. She will tell you, you know, themes. She may tell you about the writing style and the beauty of the prose, all of those things. She's really good about discussing. She has given me 2 of my top favorites the last 2 years in a row. So I love Alana. She's also got some sass, which I deeply appreciate because I don't have the nerve to come across with sass usually. If I know you really well, I might get a little sassy, but Alana just brings it, and I love that. Gina Stanier over at Gina Stanier Books. Gina is just easy to be with. She's comfortable. She is so bubbly about books that she loves. She loves to read Ladies Who Lunch. So she loves to read Rosamund Pilcher, and she loves to read Miss Reed. Vintage romance. Vintage books are, that's another thing that Gina really is good about presenting to us. Leslie at The Nerdy Narrative is a science fiction, horror, fantasy, classics, essays, short stories. What doesn't she read? She's not much of a historical fiction. She reads pretty much everything else, horror and thrillers and grimdark fantasy. And so I haven't read as much from Leslie's recommendations lately because she's read so much in kind of that wing of things. She is absolutely a dear. I adore her. One of the things that I love about Leslie is she knows me well enough to say, Dia, this is not a book for you. Don't read this one. I'll even say sometimes, oh, that sounds really good. No, Dia, this is not a book for you. I appreciate that. I love that she takes the time to say, don't do that, Dia. I have Crypto and Una over at the Codex Cantina, another one that I have followed since before I had a booktube channel. Una and Crypto are deep talkers, thinkers. They read a lot of philosophical type books and then philosophize about them. It's good to be in their presence, listening to them discuss and question and wonder and maybe come up with some answers. Maybe. They're wonderful. Lastly, I have Emma at A Bookish Princess. And Emma is sweetness and kindness and all of the wonder and ooey gooiness of a Disney princess. She really is. She is an author and an artist, and she reads a lot of classics and classical literature. She loves to read about the saints and church history, and she's just wonderful. So those are them. You guys, I hope that you get some new people to follow out of this, and I hope that you take the time to actually go follow them and subscribe to their channels. It's just such a wonderful community to be a part of, and I just wanted to love on these people. So I hope that you feel loved on, and I will see you again in another video very soon. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to. Bye.